Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. I'm Ariel Hubbard,
And I'm Vicki Draper.
and we're here to share pets with people. And this is our stress relieving edition. Thanks for joining us. We're happy that you're here
Hi,
today.
everybody. Yes, we are grateful you're here joining us.
Absolutely. So we come here every month and we talk about different topics related to healing with pets and people. And Vicki and I are both energy healers and we're both massage therapists. She works with the animal side and I work with the people side, but she also works with the stewards of her animals as well, right? We
Yeah.
both have a lot of experience doing this, and we're here to share some of our insights and stories, but also just to give you some ideas for how you can have a better experience in your life and how your pet can too. And so we're here to talk about relieving stress this month. And that's a big issue, right, Vicki?
Oh, it is so big right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So we're going to give some tips and ideas for animals. And Vicki, you've written like multiple books on helping your clients, right?
Yeah.
And you have exercises actually in your books to help them
Oh,
ground
yeah.
and all those things. So
Yes.
if you want more details about how to work with that and get those exercises from Vicki. You can get those from her books or from working with her. And then some of the techniques and things I'm going to talk about and I'm going to share. I also teach this in classes, but I also work with them with my clients so that if you like what we're talking about, but you want a more direct experience, what we're saying is you can connect with us and work with us directly and we'll get you what you need. So I'm going to talk about like stress is huge. Now, I'm a massage therapist. I've also spent a lot of years studying and teaching about pathology and also just different health issues. Stress is a significant um, indicator and also activator of a number of health problems. So it's one of the reasons why we have a lot of deaths and a lot of issues just out there in general is because of stress challenges. And you really want to work on managing your stress levels. One of the things I ask when people come to see me is what is your stress level on a scale of 1 to 10? And that's a question you should ask yourself on a daily basis. And if your stress level runs at 6 or 7 or higher on a daily basis, you need to manage that. And I'm going to just say this, most people over 40 have not practiced great self-care. I'm generalizing, but it's very true. And once you hit 40, your body starts changing. And we all notice this, but your ability to handle stress decreases, meaning that all the stress that you've been ignoring your whole life and doing all these crazy things, like working 10 or 14-hour work days and eating tons of sugar and not getting enough sleep and all that stuff, spending too much time on the computer, whatever it is for you, all of that stuff actually contributes to health issues. And once you start getting older than 40, that stuff starts showing up. And that's why people go, why does my body hurt all the time? Or why do I feel so grouchy? Or why is my mood so off? Whatever it is. And that's where you come and see people like us. We help you offload that. But there are other things you can do, and we're going to give you some ideas on what to do. I'm going to give you a quick one. It's called working with the violet flame. It's easy because the violet flame clears negative energy. So I want you to imagine that you can see this color, this beautiful color right here, right? And I want you to imagine, you can imagine a flame around your body and through your body and all the way from head to toe, around your arms, everything. And you can imagine like a sheet of flame, like you're taking this and you're passing it like it's an energy that passes through and down your body like this. And I want you to imagine you could pass it through your body and it burns up negative energy. And it just burns up and clears negative energy. And if you do some sweeps down and a sweep up even two sweeps like that, when you're feeling stressed, you're upset, you're triggered, you're whatever, anything's not optimal. If you do that, you will notice a difference in how you feel. You can also put that in your environment. You can imagine that you have a fire hose and you're going shh, and you're just spraying it all over the space and it will clear up negative energy in your space very quickly. I will tell you that most people are untrained empaths. They walk around, they feel people's energy, they feel people's emotions, and um, they don't know how to process it. And one of the tools that you can use, and there are several that I can help you with, but this one is a great starting point because what it does is it clears the negative energy out of the space, out of your space. So now you can start to be clear, and then you can start to think through whatever the situation is that's stressing you out, and then you can find a way to address it. So that's a tip that I'm going to offer is working with a violet flame. Vicky, what kind of tip would you offer?
Well, I wanted to say I was in corporate for like 15 years, and I'm one of those empaths, and I had no idea about the energy management and these tips and techniques that we teach and we practice today. And it's like my life would have been so different because I learned that a lot of the stress I was feeling wasn't even mine. It
Yes.
was from all the coworkers and just that environment. And when I
Yes,
learned that, it was
totally.
like, oh my gosh, you know,
Totally.
it's a game changer. So this
It
simple
is.
tool that you've given, it's simple because we can use it anywhere. So love the violet flame,
I
and
use
it
it in
will make,
airplanes,
yeah.
restaurants, movie theaters. I worked in the corporate world and I started using this in my cube and in the bathroom and like all these different places I would go to walking around on the floor because the energy was so funky. I would use it in the copy room and I would do that and Reiki and the copier would work for me. And then as soon as the next person stepped up the copy machine, it would stop working again.
I'm going to go into some stories, but first, why don't you explain the significance of the violet flame?
Flame. So the violet flame was rediscovered by Saint Germain in the late 1800s. And Saint Germain, he was this guy. He was this aristocrat, and he wanted to learn how to become enlightened. And he started doing all these spiritual processes and meditations and studying and spiritual and work to elevate his consciousness. The violet flame is a combination of the pink light of unconditional love and the blue light of infinite intelligence. And those specific vibrations, when you combine those two together, it transmutes negativity into positive energy. Any type, like whether it's feelings of poverty or resentment or anger or fear or low self-esteem or confusion, all those things get transmuted into the highest possible vibrational experience. And that may sound woo-woo to you, but I'm going to tell you something. The proof's in the pudding.
Mhm.
Trained thousands of people how to use this tool, and those people have gotten so much benefit from this. And I've gotten the feedback over the years of how effective this tool is for them and for their clients, because I've also trained a lot of energy work professionals, and they've gotten so much out of working with this energy. And so I heard about it and I started using it, and it was like the first time I ever felt good, like for decades, because I was an untrained empath. That's why I train empaths now, and I'm sure you do too, Vicky,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
we had all these feelings and we didn't know what to do with them. Then we learned what to do with them, and then we train people in that. So one of the
Yes.
things that I do is when I work with people, I teach them this tool because it definitely radically and clearly and immediately clears up negative energy. And a lot of us, if we just stop swimming in a sea of negative energy, our stress levels would go down a lot, a lot. Because
Yeah.
a lot of times it's the energetic field resonance between people's energy fields. Because if you're doing fine, but your parent or your spouse or your friend is really upset about something, and you're an empath and you don't have good boundaries, you'll just absorb the negative energy. That's actually your choice, whether you know it or not. You can't actually blame the other person. That's the thing. It's we have to have better boundaries. So if you imagine the violet flame in your energy field around your body, when someone's upset or angry or whatever, they may be expressing that negative energy in their auric field, but that doesn't mean you have to resonate with it in your auric field. And that makes it so much better because then you lower your cognitive load by, 50% because you're not resonating with other people's stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And so, well, that's how I discovered or about clearing, which the violet flame is a technique that you're doing
Yes.
with our pets, because my heart cat, Tasha, who was with me for over 19 years,
Wow.
for 19 years, was a great teacher for me in this because she would quit sleeping with me. She always slept with me. She'd quit sleeping with me and she would throw up. And I'm like, something's wrong. So I'd take her to the vet and they're like, nothing's wrong. And come back home. She's, not sleeping with me. She's throwing up. I'm like, there's something wrong. I'd take her back to the vet. And we did this
Wow.
like at least 3 times. And I'm like, okay, that's Western vet clearly doesn't have the answer. I've got to figure this out. And it was when I started managing my stress that she got better. She was processing my stress and was so toxic to her system that the only way she could purge it was to throw up.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it was like, oh my gosh. So then she became a great barometer because I mean I was a single mom with a young daughter at that time, and I had a business, self-employed business working with. I had a lot of stress at the
Oh
time.
man,
And so Tasha was my great barometer and my great teacher in
that's
learning
amazing.
about the clearing,
Amazing.
learning about, managing my stress and my self-care, because it wasn't just important for me, it's important for, you know, my precious pets. So
Yes. Aw.
I know. So, we'll just bring this theme in here because, yes, my book has uh,
Yeah.
energy management techniques,
And they're good ones too.
and they're
Yep.
very good ones.
Yep.
And since we're on the violet flame theme, though, we can just use that with our pets too.
Yes.
So, since we're learning, but to keep it simple, we just follow along with your technique here that we can do that with the animals. And
Just pass the violet flame around them.
yes,
Yes.
yes. And they will love it. They will appreciate it because they are little sponges. They're the little
You
empaths
could
that
you
don't
could
have the
also put it your little
boundaries.
hands when you give them the pets. You get the violet flame pet like snuggles and pets on the kitty cats or the dogs, and
Yeah.
it clears them right when you touch them too.
Yes,
Yes.
because they're in our environments and they're little sponges and they're going around. So whatever's going on in our environment, they're collecting. So when you're stressed, your pet's stressed.
Yeah.
And so when you're managing your stress, just even you managing your own stress, you're helping them. And
See,
then
what people don't realize is when they go, they have their, what do they call them? Service animal, right? Or there's another term too, right? Where the animal helps them deal with whatever their
therapy,
stress is.
therapy.
Therapy animal. But what they don't realize is that poor little therapy animal is absorbing their negative energy. And
Yeah.
it's like, you need to clear your little therapy animal, poor little thing,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
Absolutely. Because we want them to feel happy and healthy and good, right?
Well,
So,
and so just like, yes, we do. And just like when we are taking on others and not really knowing it. So
yes.
like if we're out and we come in and we're all stressed from what's
Yep.
happened, and we go and we go, oh, hi, sweetie, my little pet, and you start loving on it. Well, you're just dumping unless you're conscious about it.
So violet flame yourself before you touch your animal, right?
Yes,
I
because
would,
well,
right?
for a comfort. And so you're just offloading to them, not meaning to, but
Right.
now that you're listening to this, so now you can be conscious.
Have proper practice, proper energy etiquette. Like before you bring your day into your animal, I would do this with your family and friends
Oh,
too. Like when you come
absolutely.
home,
Yeah.
violet flame yourself before you walk in the door so that you're not passing a bunch of negativity through energetic field resonance to them as well, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's about being masterful of your space and your energy and being cognizant of what you bring into the space and how you're doing. And you know what? Nobody's perfect. And it's okay if like you forget and you come in and you're all grouchy and then you pet your cat or your dog and then you're like, oops. And then you're like, okay, I'll just violet flame the cat and the dog or your family members. Oops, sorry I yelled at you. Then violet flame, because it's gonna happen. We're
Right.
sometimes when we get triggered, we're not mindful of how we're sharing energy with other people and oops, and then you just violet flame things and maybe say you're sorry to the people or the kitty or the doggy or the horsey and just move on, right? Because nobody's
Yes.
perfect. We all have our
Well, right.
moments.
We're humans. And so
Yeah,
it's just,
yeah,
and that's just
totally.
it. So there's no self-judgment or no judgment or
Right.
no, it's like you said, just go, oops, okay. Let's, did
Let's move on.
and do what we can and move on. Yeah.
Exactly. So, how would people, we have just a few more minutes today. How would people reach you, Vicki, if they wanted to work with you or they wanted to get your book or needed some help?
The best place to go is my website, healingyouranimals.com. On there, because it shows where I do classes. You can get books. You can sign up for a free assessment with me. And that's where we'll discuss your issues and see the best support for getting you and your pets the best care for their well-being.
There, that's awesome. And then people can reach me at arielhubbard.com. I do teach empath empowerment classes and I teach them live or on Zoom. And I give a series of steps to help people when they're feeling the negative energy from someone else, but how to really start clearing that, but also how to change how they experience that other people's energy, and then having them be more mindful, more masterful about how they regulate what's happening in their own energy field. It's really important. And then how to that take their energy and then focus it where they want it to be, and how to align it with where they want to go in their life. And that's
Yes, and,
important.
and
Yeah.
I have some products that are crystals and minerals and their healing properties
Yes.
that are helping you with the clear, the balancing, and the energy protections.
I'm looking
And
for my spray here. I don't
yeah,
have it, but
well,
it's awesome. Her sprays
uh,
are amazing.
yeah, and so they're simple. You just shake, spritz, 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 and so there's a three-part segment um, as a minimum that's clear, essence bar, and protection. That's a
Oh,
great energy management 'cause we're clearing, then we're replenishing and balancing, and then we're sealing protection around us to help minimize, what we take on, our animals take on. And that's a way that also help our animals not take on as much of ours while we're getting skilled in building that muscle.
love it.
Even though I've built the muscle, I still use them daily. So
Oh, and they're helpful. I mean, they're
yes,
helpful. So people could get the books from you, they could get the sprays from you. They can also book sessions with you. They can go on your website. They can also listen to earlier versions of our podcasts on there,
yeah,
right?
yes,
Right? And then for me, people can go to arielhubbard.com and they can either get treatments or they can take classes with me. And I have lots of stuff up there. A lot of it's online, or they could go and work with me in person. So those are all options that we both have. What's
yeah.
a final tip that you would give people today for releasing? I mean, there's so many ways to relieve stress. There are a lot of ways, but what's another tip you would give people?
Well, when you have dogs, it's easy when you're out for a walk.
Yeah,
When you're out for a walk, let nature. So that's an easy one for dogs. So then for cats, you can do a grounding technique that grab a stuffy.
well, she's stepping
So just
away. She can
intend,
show you
I'm quick,
this. Yep,
just intend that you're helping the energy go down to the ground when, start at the shoulders and go down to the paws. Because see, all their paws are touching the ground. And cats
right.
mostly, well, the healthiest ones are indoor only. And so they don't get that nature support for extra benefit of clearing as well. So just start at the top and come down and then just, help it clear down into the earth. Just help it
Love
clear.
it.
Yeah. And
That's a great visual. That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's why I wanted to grab the stuff because it's like it makes more sense when you
It does make more sense when you have a visual. And for people, I would also recommend that you ground regularly. And then again, moving energy down the central channel through the midline of the body, but also down through the legs, but also a line between the knees, between the feet. And imagine three lines go down in the center of the earth, connect with the earth's energy, and then inhale it up like you're inhaling energy through a straw. Bring it up through your feet, up between your feet, through your body, charge it up with green light, your whole body with green light, and then send that green light around your auric field. And that's a quick grounding technique. So we've talked about grounding, right? We've talked about the violet flame. We're talking about how it's important to manage stress, like the walking thing. That is great, and that's also for people too.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's not
Yeah.
just the animal.
No, of course not. Right? In Japan, they have this whole experience called forest bathing, and that's literally going into the forest and experiencing the positive energy from the trees. Now, this is another topic of a different show, but I actually go in the forest and clear all the negative energy that people leave in the forest as a result of their emotional processing from trying to offload their stress because the forest can't clear it either. So you have to clear your pets, but you also need to clear nature because human emotion is human emotion. So that's another topic that's food for thought. That's something people can ask me about if they have questions about that. But we've talked a lot about different kinds of ways to address stress and to get our cognitive load down. So any last things you'd like to share, Vicki?
know that once you do it and get in the habit, I know when you're busy, I was there, it's like, oh, I don't have time for this, but
You do. You do have
it
time.
has
30 seconds.
changed. Exactly. So I was going to say, you
30
tell that piece of
seconds.
your brain, it's quick. And once you get
Yep.
it, it's a habit and it has totally changed my life.
Yep.
I'm so much calmer, so much,
Yes.
it's just, feels so much better.
So
Yeah.
much better. Absolutely.
And then therefore my pets do too.
Yay. And your pets can too. Thanks everybody for joining us today. We appreciate it. We're glad you got to experience this and hopefully you'll get some good information. And you can connect with us if you would like any more help or support.
That's right. And then we'll see you next month.
See you next time. Thanks.